Welcome back to the Legal Brief, the show where we crush the various legal myths and misinformation surrounding various areas of the gun world. I'm your host, Adam Kraut, and today we're recapping every topic that we've covered here on the Legal Brief so far.
These ultra-unique ammunition displays from Ballistic Concepts are the ultimate in gun guy gifts. From tiny to massive, they offer calibers from mild to wild, including things like the classic M855 and 45 ACP, or the massive 950 JDJ and 20mm Vulcan, all handmade right here in the United States. To get 10% off these bad boys, use the code TGC10 over at ballisticdisplays.com.
February will be here before you know it, and that means the NRA Board of Directors ballot will be in your monthly magazine soon. To learn more about my stance on the problem gun owners face, head on over to my website, adamkraut.com. While you're there, don't forget to grab a petition to amend the bylaws. The link is in the description. We're starting yet another year at the Legal Brief, and it seems like we continue to grow in viewership. That's a great thing because more people are getting access to good information and the source material. We are getting a lot of questions on topics we've already covered, though. While we love the curiosity, we want to make it easier for you guys to find the information you're looking for. So today's episode is a special one. We're going to run through all of the topics we've covered so far. I've done my best to group them by category, but you'll also be able to find every video on the playlist for the Legal Brief on YouTube.
This compass points towards what you want most.
We started everything with an episode covering ATF 41F. That's the regulation that changed how National Firearms Act transfers are done and mostly affects those with trusts. Staying on the NFA, we continued on to its origins, those pesky things known as any other weapons, the marking requirement for a Form 1 or NFA firearm that you manufactured, and the proper way to measure your rifle or shotgun to ensure that it's not covered by the NFA. In other words, to make sure it's not a short barrel rifle or a short barrel shotgun. We also discussed what happens to the NFA firearms when you die, gun trusts, and traveling with NFA firearms. Don't forget, if you need a handy guide for filling out a Form 1 or a Form 4, we did that as well. And that pretty much covers all the NFA stuff. For those of you interested in the do-it-yourself style things, we covered 80% receivers and ATF's interpretation of using other people's machinery to do it. ITAR was also a topic of conversation, and that included how DDTC's interpretation of the law could affect gunsmiths. Yes, that included people who merely threaded barrels. One of the most asked questions we get is, can I do blank? We talked about carrying modified firearms for self-defense, the legalities of shouldering a pistol brace, carrying firearms in national parks and post office parking lots, flying with guns, shipping guns, carrying guns at work, on Indian reservations, and LEOSA. That's the law that allows cops to carry nationwide. Interested in becoming an FFL? We covered that too with the discussion of the 9 different types of licenses. Curious what happens to the 4473s you fill out at the FFL? We discuss what ATF does with them after an FFL goes out of business. We also discussed a number of pending bills like the Hearing Protection Act, along with Tennessee's version of it, the SHARE Act, National Reciprocity, Fixed NICS, and others. Don't forget, when a relatively large court decision is issued, we cover that too. We'll continue to cover legislative bills as they arise. If you're interested in some of the history of the gun control laws, we went through the National Firearms Act, the Gun Control Act of 1968, the Firearm Owners Protection Act of 1986, and that's the one that had the Hughes Amendment that you all hate, as do I, because who doesn't like machine guns, and the Brady Bill. We also discussed the NICS Improvement Amendments Act and the Protection and Lawful Commerce of Arms Act, which is why gun makers typically cannot be sued. We've covered a lot of topics here on the Legal Brief. Make sure you check out the playlist, which will be in the description, to find the topic you're looking for. If you still have questions because the episode that you found didn't cover the topic you had a question about, or we didn't do one yet, let us know down in the comments. If you're looking for an update or a clarification on something we've already covered, again, let me know down in the comments below. And folks, that's generally what our Legal Brief playlist has for you. Again, there's a lot of topics we've already covered, and you'll be able to find that down in the description. Don't worry, we have a huge list of topics to continue chopping forward through here in the future. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this video with your friends, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. If you're on Facebook, be sure to join us on the TGC Nation group. Check out my website, adamkraut.com. And as always, thanks for watching.
The shirts worn in today's video on the Gun Collective have been provided by Patriot Patch. Closed captions have also been brought to you by Patriot Patch Company. Be sure to click the link in the video description to check out all of their great products, including their cleaning mats.